You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, at the helm, having a bit of fun here, creating the new reality by not buying into and reselling the old. You know, fear porn, that stuff. That which you create, that which you create, you experience. That which you experience is your fault. So let's change the way we think, shall we? Let's start manifesting beautiful things. I got this awesome headline. Now, visualize this thought and knock this domino over and see where it goes. The new headline is this: Santo is out. Get it? So while you have people focusing on things of a less than positive nature, what are you creating? Me, my timeline, I have Santo there. It's all good. He's already out in my world. And that's where I'm going to hold that position. And I will not allow anyone to get into any hate-mongering because that's just feeding the wrong energy to all the wrong things and creating the same paradigm as I watch this paradigm shift happen instant by instant. And that is the power of thought. So, you know, grab your kangaroos, your roses, and start throwing those out instead. You know, anybody can do anything as far as planting negative seeds and buying into the same old. I just chose not to do that anymore because how's that been working for us? Well, it's been a fun game. We've had lots of fun, wild, wacky experiences, and that's all they are. They're just experiences of consciousness. Time to change your mind, change your universe. Effectively. Anyway, that's just kind of my thoughts on it. Just a couple of quick announcements here while I'm at it. I'm going to, yeah, there she is. Just give me a sec, Cindy, and get you in here. Just want to do an announcement, and I'll share what my intentions are. I'd mentioned last night that I've been asked to sit in actually a couple of interviews now with the full intention of having Santo there. So the one that's coming up, let me just get the information for it, is this Friday, the 24th. And it's going to be on astrotheologyradio.com at, let me just check the time here, I believe it was 5 p.m. Eastern. Let me just double check this. Let me see. Because I did ask. Where are we? Okay, it's this Friday at, it's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, so I'm in the Eastern Standard, so the Pacific will be, of course, 3 hours earlier, and, adjust yourself from there. But that's on this Friday at astrotheology.com website, the players there. And I will be interviewing Bill Donahue. So long awaited, and Santo will be there as well. That's what I'm holding on to, and that's good for me because my intention was always to have the three of us sitting around the table. So I'm holding that energy, and let's get that one manifest, shall we? What's already there? There is a timeline with that reality in it, so let's just choose that one. Not worry about the rest of the semantics. Definitely send your information into all of these, the ones that decided to be so awake and still play the game sillily, my own word, in terms of, the Lord Mayor, Robert Doyle, and Emilio, and all the rest of it. Without the name calling, we don't need it. We really don't need it. So that being, guys, where are we? Okay, you can't call the room. Okay. Sorry, whoever's calling the room, yeah, thanks. That works because it calls everybody in the room, and I'm on the air right now. So let me just grab. Okay, just say when, Cindy, and I'll open your mic up. All right, and where else was I going there? I'm also going to be on. Let me just get back to the text. It's been a crazy, crazy day. It always is. Now, let me see. Got this from Okay, Brendan of, where is it? Let me just get this. That's the problem when I have so many texts. Okay, someone's still calling the room. Stop calling the room. You can't do that. Okay, didn't hear me the first time. Hear me this time. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, because I got to tell you guys, whoever's doing the calling of that group, you're loading my Skype up. You want to end the show or what? Okay, here we go. Paradigm Shift Radio with Brendan. That's going to be on Sunday at 9 p.m., so I guess I still don't get a night off. But that's okay. It's all good. Where are we here? All right. Thank you. Please don't call the group, especially one that I'm in. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, let's get on track here. I'm just scrolling down, trying to get things set up here. So anyway, Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard on astrotheology.com. I'll be sitting with Bill Donahue and Santo. And on Sunday, myself on Paradigm Shift and Santo, right? Because we do this together, right? So I'm just holding that position. Let's manifest that. Let's get this thing wide open tonight. I kind of want to gear things up to, what do you call it, bringing things into the now. So I've got Mike and I've got Made Manifest. Get your mics open, and I got to get Cindy here as well. As soon as she gives me the thumbs up. How are you guys doing?
Kick ass.
Yeah, aloha all. Wonderful.
Yeah. So there you go. I told you. You know, so again, this is about choosing our reality, and I don't choose a reality as far as fear porn is concerned. What I do is I take the things that I see in my reality and manifest them as it applies to me. Do you want one of the headlines that got posted on my my Facebook? You guys are going to howl. Now, if you were trapped in the financial world and that's all you had as your reality, you wouldn't get this one. And it comes out of zeroheads.com. All right. Thank you, Bob, son of Peter. Love it. This is so... I laughed. Anyway, here's the headline. Turbocharged trannies tumbling treasuries. You can't make this shit up. It's too funny.
You did make it up, though. It's your story.
Yeah, see, that's the joke. It's getting to be a cosmic fun time, though, right? That's the difference. But now, for someone in the hedge funds, that's a wholly different thing. And what are they going to create? What am I going to create as opposed to that? Well, I'm going to say, yeah, that's a turbocharged tranny taking down a treasury system, and I'm good with that. So, mindful, guys, of the noise background, please. It's really loud on my end. I got to turn my headset down. I think I turned my mic up, or my headset up. It's killing me here. I
guess it bears repeating something I was reading this morning or glossing over this one website I like to go to. And it kind of is like a conglomerate of different posts, and oh man, I don't want to say names, but whether it's the RV, the DNR, the Global Reset, Lord Jesus, the Pleiadians, why would they even have banking on their mind? But these channels bring this up. I'm like, are you misinterpreting this, or are those guys just as whacked as you guys seem to be when we're talking about a free world and you're still talking about money?
Yeah, a lot of those channels, I mean, you can tell that it's literally just someone looking to stroke their ego. I mean, I know how everyone, especially you, Kate and Santo, feel of it. Zerubbabel from the Pleiadians, but I mean, if there is like one channel, I would say Daryl Anka is legit, because I mean, he can talk about like hardcore physics and hardcore science that, you know, most institutions aren't even up to speed with, especially as far as, you know, Kate has literally been describing to a T the things that he will talk about as well. So, I mean, he's pretty legit if you're going to go that way. I mean, all others, you know, can just fall by the wayside.
Yeah, you're going to see more and more of the consciousness aligning because we are constantly moving into brand new versions of ourselves in that new timeline. It's a new old, right? Because it already exists. But we have the reality of moving into it because it seems different. And when you start really seeing this, you start seeing more awakened people around you. Surprise, surprise. No, that's because the change that came from within is now externalizing without. That's why you need to know that you're God, and that this is how this works. And I don't want to ruin the game for anybody, so I'm very careful with my own choices, where I don't want to make a wish, and, everything's perfect, though. This is a joke of it, and I still find myself in this quandary all the time of, wait, I can't make a mistake. What the hell am I worried about? And there's no guilt involved with it. You just get to the point where, or whatever, you just get to the point where you see things as they are, you accept all things as being perfect, and I just keep my intent on that perfect timeline for that grand finale of, whoa, superstardom for everybody. It's friggin' awesome.
Yeah. I'm so happy for that, Kate. That you're part of my consciousness that reminds me of that.
Yeah, and you guys too. It works both ways, This is where we get to see the reflection of our of ourselves in ourself. Right. This is and man, or God created man in our image after our likeness, and that's what we are. We are the hour. This is the hour. Right. Talk about the 1 hour of Babylon when that concept finally kicks in. Here's a good example of what I talk about with intent. I was on the wellaware1.com site, which I don't go to very often. It was posted as a link. I just thought it was a rather interesting headline in that in the headline it said Alex Jones was arrested, Dave Wilcox was arrested, Kerry Cassidy was arrested, Sheldon Neidl was arrested, and of course I didn't go any further than that. But what I see in the allegory...
Did we throw him in the funny jail?
I think so, because to me is the allegory of that. Again, you got to take the personalities out of it. You just got to see the energies. So the allegory of that, to me, is, oh, look, Revelations, the deceivers are being exposed and pulled down, so they're not continually keeping people on the fear porn path, where they're not being the distractors, because that's what a deceiver is, someone who distracts.
And that's
I'm sorry, I kind of missed that a little bit. What was that again, Kate?
The headline here, it's probably too far down on my Facebook now, but one of the first things I saw early today was this headline from wellaware1.com. That was the link, and it said that Alex Jones had been arrested, David Wilcox had been arrested, Kerry Cassidy, Sheldon Neidl. They were all arrested, right? But whether it's real or not, this is why I need people to get this. Whether it's real or not, it is very real in your own consciousness as to what it means to you. So it means to me this, that real or otherwise, in my reality, that's just the deceivers. And they don't mean to be. It's just, it's part of the role, the movie. And they perfectly mean to be at the same time. What's happening there is the consciousness is getting rid of all of those things that distract us to keep us caught in the matrix. And that can be what we have always deemed to be the good guys or the bad guys. It doesn't matter. Who are the deceivers? Well, the deceivers are the ones that are not honing in on their true spiritual nature. They're not kidding anybody but themselves. And that's why I look at those things to see what is it in me that I still need to clean up to change that reality again. I had a good chat with Steve Travesty today, by the way, and I told Steve I wanted to make him very aware that he changed the world when he had the prosecutor say yes to him. What that was, and anyone he said it to, they go, "What? You're kidding." The line is very simply this. I am the witness for the fraud being perpetrated against me, and I have the prima facie evidence, birth certificate, in my hand. On and for the record, is it now your intent to aid and abet me or entice me into slavery? And the prosecutor answered Steve very simply, yes. The judge confirmed it when Steve tried to raise an objection. The judge said, motion denied. Oh, if you took that literally, you're thinking, well, that means that the judge isn't listening. No, actually, the judge said exactly what needed to be said. His mote shun, his inability to cast spells, was denied because his spell carried through. It was a mote ion, not a mote shun. So the judge denied him discrediting his own objection. It was perfect. And great chat with him today. And that was a pivotal point because shortly after that, within a day or two, a few things came down, and one of them being regarding Santo. So what these things are to me are proof positives of the entire game shifting in the legal sense, where now every one of them, had I been there, had it been me, and I said to Steve, he didn't make a mistake, but here's to illustrate what I'm talking about. If I'd have been there, I'd say, fine, you just admitted to wanting to entice me into slavery, and according to your rules under Section 18, that's a 35-year sentence. Sheriff, arrest this man. He's already admitted his guilt. You know, that's where we're at, because when you get someone, anyone in the system represents the entire system at all points. So when you get an answer like that says, yes, I'm trying to entice you into slavery, after that statement, that tells me that we've got that nailed shut and that the system has nowhere to go now but actually admit what they're doing. But in admitting what they're doing, that raises our stakes up in making us not only more powerful but more vulnerable, and why we need to move forward to the private prosecution. And it's as simple as starting to just call up your local courthouses and asking about it. Put it into the consciousness. Don't look for the answers, plant the seeds. The answers show up. Don't worry, you plant the right seed, the right harvest will come to you. That's what I mean about planting roses instead of ragweed. You plant a rose or throw one of your little kangaroos into their court, let it do the hopping around and mess up their universe, and let them knock over all their dominoes of their own fears and all the rest of it, and it comes around perfectly. You will answer your own question by putting out the intent. Just plant the seed. That simple. Oops, I had 905 on the call here, and they dropped out, so let me see. Have we got... oh, there we go. Just waiting to see if you're ready to go there, Cindy. And there we are. So we'll...
I want to go into this more later, but just to remind people, the flip side of authority is not... the flip side of authority is love. But it's... In the paradigm, in the mind control program, when people are thinking, when we talk about authority and they might get fearful and stuff like this, it's the old master-slave concept. That's what it is. Obey. You're into obeying somebody. And part of the program is built in for us to do that. And people are bought that. And then the fear part, what I want to get to is that if you don't have authority, the world is going to go bad. There's going to be rob, cheating, stealing, thieving, and all this. I'm like, no, that's what you get with it. The flip side of authority isn't that. The flip side of authority is we do not rob from our neighbors. We do not steal. We love, and we live in harmony. That's the flip side of it.
I agree. And, okay, whose mic has got all the tapping and banging going on? If you're not talking, mute, please. It's really, really loud on my end. Thanks. All right. Let me see. Just want to bring Cindy in here. And, no, she's still not there. Okay.
When I'm reminded of this, I remember myself, my power, my innate, if you want to call it power, my freedom, my choice to do what I please. And when you're in the obey system, no, man, all your thoughts are pretty much matrix guided. And you'll know that because it will not make you feel good.
Absolutely. Again, this is the whole... I need permission to drive my car by having a license and following all the rules. Well, I've actually heard the conversation with the individual that was had with that there is no legal requirement to have a license or insurance to access public highways, coming from an ex-cop out of Toronto. who now works for the Ministry of the Attorney General. And we're going to expose a few more things on that as well. I'll probably do that tomorrow night. But I am done trying to mollycoddle those that are committing crimes against humanity. Here, if your intent is to commit crimes against humanity, then you'll avoid the issue. If your intent is to stop that, then you'll jump on it right away. You won't wait a week and a half to have a conversation. Because in that week and a half, if I was to follow you, the timeline would be stuck where other points of my consciousness would be experiencing things that I do not wish it to experience, because we already have. Boring, moving on. So if you are not going straight for solution, then you are the problem. It's that simple. That's what it means to stand in truth. Can you have the strength, the courage to do so? Well, that's, for me, the real game. And it took a while to get there. You know, we've had a lot of programming run into us. And when you become aware of that programming and you start letting it go, knowing that that's all it is, it's just a game, you'll feel a whole lot better. And you scream at the TV a whole lot less, expecting a different show by doing that. You know? So there you have it. Just saying, jump in, guys. I want this to be wide open tonight.
I love the simplicity, Kate, and I share this with people sometimes, and they're like, "It can't be that simple." And I'm laughing. I'm like, why wouldn't it be? What did somebody say? If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you ain't got it.
That's true. Yeah, the simpler truth is, truth will be easy enough for any child to understand. Not that children are any less intelligent. Actually, they're way more intelligent than we are. But right. Yeah, truth should be able to be stepped down to an elementary level.
And we can explain the mysteries of the universe with that language. We can explain the most so-called complex things with that language, because that is what is the truth and the understandable about it. It isn't hidden behind confusion.
Yeah, ask a 6-year-old stealing is okay, and that'll be the correct answer. So when you actually have chiefs of police and different cops and all different sorts of governments and organizations stealing from people, what does that tell you about them? That they have less ability and knowledge than a 6-year-old who knows better.
No one has no right to rule over anybody. Plain and simple. And if you ask a 6-year-old, should you harm anybody? They will tell you no. Don't harm anybody. I guess a bunch of us forgot that.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they're typically elected officials and clergy and all the rest of it. They forgot how to be a child, and that's what we're rediscovering that from a higher level of wisdom as we go back to being that child and having fun.
Yeah, they're stuck behaving like children, but they don't know how to behave like a child.
Well, that's it. That's in the movie August Rush. That is the Robin Williams character versus the August character. The out of control, gimme angry ego that is based solely in materialism versus the spiritual nature. Here's the song that you all hear that you're walking towards. You are following your path instinctively, perfectly, without mistake. Everything we encounter is merely an experience of contrast. Like I say, anyone that gets tickets or whatever, well, first off, have a look to see what contracts spiritually you still have clinging to the system. It might not be where you think it is either. And where was I going there? And also, you have the opportunity now to plant seeds with those within the system, and that's all it takes. That, to me, any of that stuff is simply an open door for people to put stuff in with a case file. It doesn't really matter. It's all a joke anyway, but at least now you have the right intent and the right tools to play it back. Plant those seeds in those buildings with the people that don't know what's really going on. Watch the world change.
Yeah, we're doing that, Kate. It is. I just love how I don't have that feeling of it being permanent. Like, what part of what I was sharing with a friend the other day, that grow old and die program is still in there. Because sometimes when we talk about their stuff and they're going on a linear time frame again, I'm like, that's the grow old and die one, man. No, I didn't buy that one.
Well, the only reason that belief is there is because that seed was planted. If you came into a world where bodies didn't die, and that was the understanding, that would be the intent, yeah? So when you look around and see, what you perceive to be people dying, which are just parts of your movie, it's not real to you because you're not the one experiencing it, you're the one observing it. So is it real, or is it a belief being placed in your mind that this is what must happen? If you agree to it, then you are in spiritual contract with it. This is why you are all truly immortal. The only thing that stopped us from being that was buying into the idea that we're not. And this is why we have a game. And of course, we've moved from the golden age of Aries, and look at all the destruction that had to happen around that as we shifted ages. Had to get rid of all the evidence so we could have a game in Pisces, right? The I believe game. And now we've left that. We're in the I know of Aquarius. And it's all fractal. It's all contained within you. It's all contained as above, so below. This is why you can actually start to observe things in real time and see your own foreshadowing, and then the outcomes are not as big a mystery as you think they might be. Just makes it very simple. Looks like we got Cindy, I think. Do we have Cindy?
Yes, you do.
There you are. How are you?
If I was any better, I'd be twins. I'm doing good. I'm good. It's been a long week. Been very.
Oh, did I get dropped?
No, you're still on.
Oh, okay. That was weird. Yeah, Cindy, you muted out there, hon. Oh, problem with the call. Hope that's not me. But if it is, hey, listen, I got a couple of capable beings at the table. You guys can carry it, yeah?
Shit, I don't know what to talk about.
Welcome to my night, every single night, trying to bring this across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, try again, Cindy.
Okay. Yeah, that was that's the first. I haven't had any internet trouble until now today. So yeah, people. The one of the coolest things that I have had response on is people are offering their services in translation in every language you can think of to get the word out all over the planet. So we're working on that. I'm also waiting to hear from Sonia so we can put together a couple things to put out there. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming together like this.
Oh, obviously. I mean, hey, that's what this table is for sure. You guys know that. So let's just let's have a look.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, because I'm like looking at my screen. It says Skype not responding, so I'm not touching anything. I'll just,
hang in there, kiddo. Just to share some stuff, let's have a bit of fun. Let's let the Victoria Police know that they're being watched in the Melbourne, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So on my Facebook, someone has posted to Victoria Police. It's Melbourne though, right?
It's Melbourne. Yeah, it was Victoria. Yeah. Victoria is where he lives. But
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, and I do believe those email addresses are on my website anyway, for anyone that needs it. So, here was the headline. Did you hear the news? Alex Jones arrested, Dave Wilcock arrested, Sheldon Neidl arrested, Carrie Cassidy arrested?
Carrie Cassidy, yeah. Is there any truth to that?
Well, in my reality, of course.
Oh, boy.
Well, to me, it's just the allegory of whether it's real or not. Again, this is how do you interpret the artificial reality that we're in. So I interpret it from the deceivers are falling by the wayside.
Yes, indeed. I walked in there and told them in the studio. I saw it on Santo's public figure page, and someone posted it. And there's also a meme going around, a picture of Santo with, I'll have to go look, I'll tell you in a second. But anyhow, someone had posted that, and I was like, yeah, shut the front door. What? Okay. So, interesting. Wow. Every hour of every day, it just gets more and more juicy.
Well, that's the thing. These to me are I don't see them anything as bad. I see them as consciousness shifting in that there are more reactions occurring as a net result of the cause that we're having. So you're seeing the final death throes, if you will, of the last vestiges of this system striking out in futility. That's all it is. It's the last of the kids kicking and screaming. So here's what I'm talking about with regards to minding what we say. I was reading on that wellaware.com site. Didn't read much, didn't have to. It was kind of funny, actually, but all literal, all caught in the paradigm. But I seen one line, how to stop the next war. Well, okay, well, why don't you, well, what have you said when you said that? Oh, you're expecting one. Oh, okay, I don't, so I don't have right? You see what I mean? When you say the next war, you're saying that's being created, so there isn't one, so I negate that completely.
Ah, nice.
You know, but it's all in the wording, and you'll see it everywhere.
It's every bit of the wording.
Yep. How are you reading it? You know, are you reading it blindly and just accepting it at face value and putting power with your thought behind it? Or are you looking at it going, wait a minute, how does that actually matter to my game experience and what I'm actually here to do? As soon as you separate from the literal of the artificial outside of the illusion, then you start seeing it. That's when the magic really starts to appear. And that's where I live, and I am not even remotely tolerant of anything even trying to move me off that line, because I see the magic. I know. I don't believe now. I know the magic is there. And that's a big difference. Hey, you still get your little moments of Mrs. Doubtfire popping in. I kick her ass out right quick because... You know, that's just that's remnants of program, and when that happens, that's when I immediately go looking for what caused that. Why did that happen? Why did I think that instead of just accepting all things perfect? Because that is a glitch in me, where there's still part of that program there. But I'm constantly and so vigilantly looking for everything that I can that gives me any sort of a reaction or a doubt or an emotion at all, to neutralize it by flowing gratitude at it.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's as simple as this. The version of you right now, are you happy with that version? Are you happier with a version of you now than, say, 10 years ago? I would hazard to say yes, you probably are. I know I am. And I'll tell you, how did I get to this new version of me over the last 10 years? Well, I had to travel through some experience, didn't I? Mm-hmm. So how is any of that bad if I get out of it the awareness that I'm sitting at right now? That's the difference between knowledge and wisdom, right? Knowledge, anyone can have that. It's becoming aware of what it really means where you get the wisdom. So the difference between knowing something and not knowing something is simply awareness, because all things already exist, pre-existed, and will always exist in infinite realities, infinite potentials, infinite possibilities. We've already got it all mapped out. The game grid's built. The only free will choice we have now is to choose which part of that experience we want. And as we become more aware of the experience that we want, and we see the magic that's happening, and we're all giggling at it now, right?
Yeah.
Then you can retrain your crosshairs somewhere else. So you're not buying into the fear porn stuff and all the rest of it. And then you start to read fear porn from the comedy angle of how it matters to you, and you see things that will make you howl. Like, I got to tell you, what was that? Turbocharged trannies,
yeah.
Toppling treasuries or something. I don't know. But
you know, make
if you, I know, eh? Now, if to show you the difference, if you were a Dale Earnhardt fan, you would see a tranny in a different light than I would. Right?
Oh my God! Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I'm saying about change your perspective. Just because it means something literally to you in your game of the world game here, don't get caught in one definition, one of sound creation. Have a look at it as to why and how it applies to you, then change the intent and throw it back into the consciousness field. That's the shit I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, this is what I want to get to. It's like, let's really work on this intent. And make some headlines. Like, for example, I've done it before, thought some things, you've done it, and then you've seen it materialize out there. You read some headline, where's the connection there? Oh, no, that's synchronicity. You definitely had a hand in these things. So, people have prayer groups or meditation, every week or once a month, like, the Celestine Prophecy guy, James Redfield. And, I gotta say, I love his stuff. But what I always found curious about their meditations and stuff is they always focused on world events. And I'm like, wait a second. Oh, let's send love to George Bush. Like, wait a second, these are the puppets. Come on, man. Let's focus that intent really right to what we've been describing at this table, the true center, the true world we believe we know is here for us. Let's focus our intent on getting there. Not, let's have all this money. Let's finish, let's no more war. Or what? Let's focus our intent on getting there. Waking our consciousness.
Where the attention goes, the energy flows.
Right there. And that's what I want us to focus our intent on.
You see, and what Cindy just said there, where attention goes, energy flows, boy, do we have a whole different perspective on that one now, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Because you start to really see the power of it. That's the magic. When you see that power and you go, yeah, and it's true. Scientific, in the effect, you can see it. They've shown it where observing an atom, it changes its mind, so to speak. Photons or atoms will react differently when they're observed.
I just posted a link just a couple hours ago. I can't tell you exactly what it says, but if anybody goes down my page, it's been shared a couple of times, the power of thought, and it's a really good article, and it just, kind of brings that point home. I can't touch anything on my computer or it's going to crash, so
no worries. Here's a question. Here's a question for everybody. Have you or have you not noticed a whole lot more posts regarding things like phonics, language, and sound? Have you noticed that lately?
Oh,
yeah. It's getting everywhere.
Yeah, now you're seeing the effect that you're creating. This is what we do at the table. Yeah, this is the table.
It's cool.
What's the win-win here? Sometimes I think of it like, okay, Santos is free. He's out of jail. Now, I don't necessarily want Robert Doyle to go in jail, but I'm going to think something more positive. Santos is free, and cannabis is now legal in Australia. That's the headline.
Cannabis is actually mandatory worldwide.
Exactly.
Time to heal those.
You have to smoke some. Otherwise, we're not trusting your ass. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
And then you won't need a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down.
You don't. And talk about saving Mr. Banks. What an allegory that movie was. Just a little. So, again, about redirecting your attention, redirecting your focus to create the outcome you want instead of the one that the system has trained you to expect. Remember, no expectations. Right? All things for a reason. And as I said earlier, who else would I want wielding Excalibur in that situation than Santo? Are you kidding me? Nothing like tossing in David to the Goliath, because you know what's going to happen to Goliath anyway, right? One capstone to the head and they're done.
The mental picture I'm getting, I don't know if you've seen the movie John Carter.
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, man, when they put him in the arena and make him fight those creatures.
Yep.
And the one jumps on him and lands on him, and he slices him open, and jumps out of the middle of his body. That's what I'm seeing.
Of course, it has to be Jesus Christ, J.C. John Carter.
Oh, wow.
See what I'm saying?
Man, you just floored me there.
Well,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Cripes, Ripper. Just letting, I think it's Linda. I want make sure I got the right 905.
You bet it's Linda.
Okay, I got it right. And I got Facebook. You're open on the mic as well. So what's on your mind tonight, Linda?
Oh, well,
how's Rick doing?
Right beside me, listening up with the headphones on, and everybody's doing great. So, listening to what's going on in the Victoria theme, and I had to do my own responding this week to the courts. So I've got 30 days to send another dose into them, and of course I'm a newbie at this.
Then you send it in tomorrow. You keep sending it in. I don't follow rules. I give them the truth right between the eyes every day.
Yes. So I did. I went to your page, Kate, and I had a read of as many of your papers that I could. And I responded, but I responded in what was true for me, and I'm just trying to think. It was like, I don't know how many pages, about 4 pages. But anyways, I asserted my authority as a living mother of these children and with the authority of God's natural law. And I named all my kids and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want it brought into any court and, all this stuff about, I don't have any harmful intent and I don't want them to harm me either. Anyways, so they just responded with a bunch of legal documents that I'm supposed to fill out, formal affidavits, I guess, in response, and have it sent to the Victoria court registry.
Okay, Linda, let me save you a whole lot of bother. Those documents that the legal name was sent, those are proof of intent to aid and abet you into fraud.
Yeah.
So I would send it back all blank, staple it together with a simple note on it. Is it your intent to aid and abet fraud?
Yes.
And that's it.
Okay. I will do that. Because I've already
that's what they're doing.
My authority. Yeah.
Actually, if they're sending you legal stuff, no, you haven't, because you've got spiritual contracts that you need to become aware of. So that's what we do here. All right. This is one of the reasons why I write the way I do, so it's completely neutral.
Yeah.
And it's just straight to the factums.
Yeah.
With no need to get, I know you're a mother and a natural God and all the rest of it, and so do they.
Yeah.
But they're testing you to see, do you really know who you are and what you are? That's what this game is, and that's what this system is in perfect contrast mirror. Why, I got to tell you, I've had many reasons, and you've heard me go off, absolute killer bitch. There's some of the most entertaining radio out there, personally. But like right off the deep end, and oh my God, especially a few months after the SWAT raid and the whole thing coming down. But I look back at it now, and it's like I laugh at it because I know what it is. I know what it is, and I just chose to pass the test now instead of trying to get retested all the time. I don't need to be tested because it's like, get over it. So the real bottom line. Go ahead, hon.
Oh, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, so the writings, the way I write them, are all very, very self-explanatory. The only thing I ever ask people to do is, can you get the concepts in them? Because the concepts are all based on pure download. Yeah. These are aha moments. If you can resonate with them, guess who they belong to now? You?
Me. Yeah. Yeah, and I sat in my truth, and I looked at some of the templates that you had there, and applied them to our life, and sent it in.
Yeah,
and,
there's another little notice there that you might want to attach to that bunch of blank garbage that you got, because you have proof of the fraud, and it's mail fraud too. They sent it through the mail with intent to contract because it's a contract when they send it. So I would
send it through the mail. It's all email.
Oh, that's fine. Then send it back through the email. Because you have an email address, so that means that you have intention to accept all things through the email. That's why I use their law against them, because they don't. You see, here's the thing: they can change all the laws they want, but I understand that, and now I just apply their rules back to them. So go ahead, try and change your own rule, and you can't.
No kidding.
Yeah,
if you go
to
the last page. What is it? Who's the guy who's also on has the show? Rob Freeman.
Yeah, Rob Freeman on CMR.
He has that. If you go right to the home page, he has that writing up there. Just that first couple paragraphs alone. Bam.
Rob Freeman.
Yep. Yeah. Rob Freeman. Yeah, that's one of the cast and crew of Critical Mass Radio.
He just nails it right there, Kate. Again, same what you say. Legal fiction. Legal fiction.
Yeah.
So, along with is it your intent to aid and abet me into committing fraud? ? And have attention legal department notice on there. I actually put attention law enforcement, legal department, bankers. I've got. I think there's 5 different. Did you know you're criminal? Type documents that is all basically saying the same thing, but directed at the professions the way they would take it literally.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you.
It's the same. No worries. Same story, just told a different way to each and every. It's like we all take this literal game from our own perspective. We're all living the Earth story. That I think we can agree on. So it's all the same story. We're just living different versions of it.
Yeah, and it seems like some people need some of Kate's writings and other people's at the table's writings to wake up. Not a spiritual book.
No.
A private prosecution, maybe, to go, oh, wait a second, what are we talking about? Oh, yes, excuse me, I won't do that shit anymore. So I guess some people need it in different ways.
Yeah, see, and those are the seeds. Go ahead, Linda.
Go ahead. Oh, I was saying, and I'm also attempting in this process to, pave the way and free my own children from this legal fiction.
Yeah, you're not attempting it, hon. You're doing it. That's the difference. You're God, so you're getting on it. You're on the game. And that is the intent where all are free, including those most enslaved, i.e. the richest people like the Queen and all the rest. They are so deeply engrossed in the game. Yeah. They think they have to amass physical wealth to have a life, and that's sad.
Yeah.
You know, the most wealthy here are the most degraded spiritually. The more wealth you have in the physical is the less wealth you have in the spiritual. Therefore, guess what you have also? The less ability to have an effect because your cause is so low. That's why they want you to be part of their crown, so that they can be your cause for you. Read a headline there. Do I still have it up? No, it was 2 of the ravens at the Tower of London had been killed. A fox got them. I think that happened last year, but I look at it in the now. It doesn't matter. Everything is now, so I see that as what does it mean about the 2 crows to me? Well, it takes the 8 crows that they had there and takes it down to the 6, so now the crown is hexed.
Yeah.
You are always free. The illusion, if you want to call it, is that you weren't.
Yeah.
You always are.
That's
and
right. I actually was I was having a meditation the other night. I can't even explain it. It was beautiful. But basically, I had several sensations. I don't know how to describe because it was more of a feeling and it wasn't really words. And I'm losing where I'm going already. Excuse me, lost my train of thought.
No, it's okay. Pure downloads have that effect. You were talking about meditation and your profound aha moment.
Yeah, well, one of them was actually that we are the now. And how I can explain that, I don't know. But we are the now.
Yeah, it's not something you can put in words. It's just a thing you know. Welcome to the table. Yeah, we do that a lot here.
I'm gonna hand the phone over to my husband now.
Oh, hey, awesome.
Hey, how are you tonight?
Greg, how are you?
I'm doing well, enjoying all this energy you guys are producing.
Isn't it great?
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I was walking around redesigning my world. It was unbelievable how things were disappearing.
Awesome.
I was just like looking, going, wow, what's that doing there? I didn't see that last time.
Yeah.
I was just having this conversation the other night.
It's very beautiful to walk around and know what's going on.
Exactly. So like the headline says, Santo is out. I'm good with that one. That's a cool one.
Everybody go write it down, right? Write the ad out.
Yeah, write it out. Post it on Facebook.
He needed to be there.
Okay, here we go. Of course, we're talking about King Arthur with Excalibur. Let him go. He's got a beast to take out.
Exactly. He knows what he's doing. Watch and learn.
So if here's a choice. Are you going to flow energy towards that, or are you going to keep all that energy flowing at some really depraved being that is still a retarded 5-year-old cop? Well, sure, throw some pity at it, but that's all they get. Well, buddy, wake up.
Let's not be too hard on those 5-year-olds, eh?
I know. That's why I don't beat them up with baseball bats anymore.
Exactly. I walk around and I know a lot of people, and I talk to a lot of different spirits out there, and a lot of them don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
I say something to them, and they look at me like I got 14 heads,
Well, see, the trick that I do, if I'm, out somewhere and I bump into a stranger, say at a checkout or something, or whatever the case may be, I just plant a seed and walk or drive away. That's all I do. Did you know that using the legal name is fraud? You should look that up, and then I drive away.
Yeah. Well, myself personally, I don't care for any licenses or anything like that. I haven't had numbers of any kind for so many years. It's not even when I met my wife. It's like, I don't have this, I don't have that. No, I don't do that. Sorry. Bank account? No, don't want one. So, sir, what's that for? Is that something you eat? No, it's okay.
No,
don't even deal with it.
Can't put that in my belly.
Yeah, well, they couldn't even put it in my belly when I was in school because I was the hardest kid in school. I didn't believe anything. I really didn't give a shit who discovered Canada back then either. Didn't matter to me. I'm here now. He was there then.
Well, you have to look at the founding corporations, right? So that's a joke.
Oh yeah, I had to build some bullshit on something.
Right. So let's focus the energy in the Santo is out headline. And I'll tell you, here's the power of grabbing consciousness. There's a perfect little seed to just throw up on Facebook to get people talking in that direction instead of the whiny freeloader society type mentality of the gimmies. Oh, I gotta get them. They're a bunch of bastards. Oh, kill. Must take out the you know those types, right? Free men on the land, sovereign shit. Oh, I'm not gentle about it anymore. Have I ever been gentle about it? I've never been gentle about it. No,
What they
listen.
Use kid gloves with iron intent. Is that how it goes?
Thundering velvet hand, as Dan Fogelberg put it so eloquently.
Yeah, that sounds well.
Yeah.
Yes, it's. I enjoy this. It's so nice to hear so many intelligent people talking about intelligent things and not wasting their energy where it doesn't even matter.
Well, this is where the child gets to imagine again. That's what this table's about. So let's put our I'm a genie to work, shall we?
Oh, I will.
There we go. So, and that's why. Go ahead, Rick.
It's nice to be aware of what's going on. It's nice to have an insight to share with your fellow man and your fellow sister and everybody else that happens to come in your circle. But a lot of these people look at you and say, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, I said, maybe your dictionary you've been reading, isn't telling you the right meaning of anything.
It's not. That's the joke, It's one definition of one word that might have a few variations of it. But the thing with getting the intent out there, something I wanted to share when you were, you mentioned a comment, and the thought has come through, and left again, so it's all good. Again, it's just about keeping the intent where it needs to be and creating the reality that you want to create versus one that is typical of every reaction we've ever had in the past. Because if you're doing that, you're acting from a past moment, not a now moment. And all you got to do is get in the now.
Yeah, I've been in the now for a long time, but now it's nice to find other people here.
Yeah.
Because I never agreed. I haven't agreed with anything that I've been seeing or hearing for so long. No wonder I never learned to read and write. What for?
Yeah.
No wonder my psychic didn't want it.
Yeah, and here's the example again of how important every piece of this puzzle, every one of you, are. You see, what I do is what I do. And there are kids out there that can flip bikes over in the air, and there are people that can dive off 200-foot cliffs, and there are people that skydive and all the rest of it that do all sorts of magical tricks with it that I'm looking at going, wow, that's their crazy human spirit trick. Me, my crazy human spirit trick is what we do here. Phoenician. People ask me, how do I do it? Well, that's my trick, so I'm just trying to show you how to do the trick.
Yeah, no doubt. It's so nice to be taught.
It's
nice to be taught. We all need to learn.
Well, see, no one else has to know that because you've got your trick that you need to teach everybody else. So I don't have to know what you know. You don't have to know what I know.
Absolutely. We just have to share it. We just need to share it. It's all we need to do. Hey, listen, they say let the pilot fly the plane and the cook meals. You don't need to know neither. You just need to know your part.
All I ever ask people to do is, can you get the concept of what I'm talking about? You don't have to have the mastery of it and do this, that, and the other. But you get why I do what I do? If you get that, then you've got all the keys that you need, and everything else will follow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The tail always follows the dog, don't it?
Apparently.
That's what they say.
I'll tell you here, I've used the allegory of the one-stop. People are trying to, we're not so much now. We're trying. They wanted the answer now. They wanted their quick fix drive-through truth document that gives them the gimme, so they can run away and not have to deal with it anymore, right? But well, it's taught us all to be impatient, if you will. That's what the drive-thrus have done. That's a physical, literal effect to that part of consciousness. We want things faster. Is the game moving quick enough for you now?
Oh yes, it's just up to par.
Yeah, it's finally we got a first gear here, so we've got an infinite number of gears to go.
Oh yes, you should see the one I made. I got about 500 million ahead of me. I just can't shift it fast enough because I can't keep up in thought. But as soon as I can, I'm going to the next gear. You better believe it.
Yep, and the best thing people can do is just to sit tight, spend a bit of time with the most beautiful essence in the universe, you. Don't be distracted.
Exactly. I got two of me. I think my other me is better looking than me, though.
Right on.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. I'm very fortunate.
Oh, no question. I've talked to her.
Oh yes.
And did I mention last night? I was going to say, I wanted to mention last night, or did I mention that we had just under 100,000 people the night before, and I think, I haven't checked readjusted numbers, but we were at the 50,000 mark yesterday, so I'm assuming, based on the numbers the night before, that we're running the same numbers, so that is an indication of the consciousness awakening, not the popularity, that's literal. I don't deal in literal.
Yeah,
what I
see just man-made, that's all.
Yeah, that's why I deal in points of consciousness coming together, converging. That's all I care about. How much of the consciousness is gathered.
Like the trip that we're going on. I mean, I don't see any need to get a bigger backpack because my head's just fine for me. Because that's all I need. I'm not worried about anything else. Never was. I mean, I see so many people caught up in the materialistic world. It's like, wow, really? Joking, it's you don't get to take your possessions with you. You get to take your experience and understanding with you. That's what you get to take, and that's all you need to take. What else do you need it for? right?
Well, yeah. Again, just basically just stay in the now. I'm at a point where I don't, because I don't need to anymore. I used to, but I really don't need to think about much. All I have to do is look at what my intention is and put the power behind it. And that's one of the things about literal conversations. I've had a lot of those today, and I was able to illustrate what happens when you tip a domino. You make one suggestion to somebody, and I watched. How many times have you watched a conversation change directions? That's what happens when seeds get planted. Say you're talking about one thing, and somebody mentions, say, a name, and then the next thing you know is everybody's talking about that name, and they're going off on all those dominoes, and then somebody mentions. So you start to see the cascading effect of the literal litter of the all.
Yes.
So,
yes, I am.
How many people do you guys know, or did know? They're probably getting fewer now, but want to tell you something that would take approximately 10 seconds and take 2 hours to tell you. They're going to tell you about the car drive, what gear they were in, what color the car is, what it smelled like, the different stores that they passed, and everything else. What that is a being at a level of not being able to create, and is doing the literal creation to give themselves the illusion that they're creating something instead of just creating it.
Yeah.
And that's all program. We all got hit with it.
Oh, there's so much programming here, it's pathetic.
Yeah. So stay the course.
I'd like to
stay the course. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, absolutely.
Then I tell you, people, this book, The End of All Evil, and I'm still just halfway through it, and it's not that long. Like I said, it's under 100 pages. And he has a chapter or a little section called The History of Freedom. And as I read it, I'm like, that's with these history books and the way people have looked at history, those are programs. Those are mental programmings that we've gone through. And let me read this. As the era of kings was closing, cultures began to disintegrate and freedom grew. This is called The History of Freedom. This first part isn't so nice, but what it gets to is really good. This was precipitated by two very specific and very powerful attacks against royalty, the Magna Carta and the Declaration of Independence. Every time cultures are attacked, people begin to learn more about their value. When rebellion spread among people of outstanding courage, culture lost its grip, and people were able to see that there was no king who had claim upon them. They started to see a glimpse of their own worth. The engineers of evil, or whatever you want to call, understood that the world had finally learned how to see past the culture of royalty. With the astonishing speed of only a few generations, they engineered the culture of nations to replace it. Under the umbrella of nationality, people are slaves to borders more than at any time in history. The power of my king has been replaced by the culturally superior our country. Nations have caused greater death and slavery than any degree of royalty ever envisioned. The history of freedom shows that even as nations grow strong, the cultural lessons from royalty have been learned. Freedom progresses around the world as population increases. Cultures are destroyed by freedom routinely, and the lessons of each new tactic of deceit are being learned around the world. The violence of nations increases as the cries of freedom are raised. Hundreds of millions have been murdered and billions enslaved in recent history, all in futile attempts by evil men to stay in power. As the stability of their empires is challenged, they rain blood upon the heads of their protectorates. That's the old program that we were stuck in. The history of freedom shows that such violence is not the growth of evil, but its death. Violence and the enforcement of law are necessary only when culture's grip fails to effectively control the minds of people. The death of kings, the transitions of nations, the mutations of culture, and the violence of governments are evidence of the end of evil. Authorities of all kinds are struggling for breath in a world that is learning how to drown them forever. In the world and you and I occupy, the war is already won. We have only to watch evil die. Beautiful.
That's it, and it's about letting evil destroy itself. We let the dog eat dog world. That's the joy of this. You don't have to actually do anything. Well, the only thing I do is plant the seeds. I give them the thought. The one thought that they hate the most is exactly what they're trying to foist upon humanity: slavery and jail. So give it back. That's a steaming pile of dog shit in my world. I'm not even going to put a bow on it. I'm just going to give it back. You know? So that's what these seeds are all about. This is what it means to plant roses in their ragweed gardens. Instead of constantly planting ragweed over and over. That's insanity. You know, be the one willing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael.
Great thing about insanity. I was going to back it up and read it, and really, that's insanity. That the people's, even in my part of my, is insane when I think like that. And when you keep planting ragweed instead of sunflowers or whatever, the old habits that keep giving you the pain and harm, that's insanity. Insanity is believing in a king that has the power to rule over you, or a country, or a authority. That's insanity. To believe that.
Yep.
That's truly insanity.
Well, let's put this allegory into practical vision. Okay, so ragweed. I don't mean to pick on ragweed. It's a beautiful plant, but anyway, I just use it because it creates a lot of issues with people, right? Ragweed is this. People getting angry at the system and screaming and calling them bastards and assholes and all the rest for what Santo is experiencing. That's ragweed. Are you expecting roses from that, or just a whole lot more of the embittered self in the mirror? So how about this? How about we just take rosebuds, truth, without condemnation, just stating the facts. That's what my little notices do. There's no judgment in them. Like even the last 72-hour notice that has come and gone, and his contract's made. All the people that got that email, their contracts are made. I accept their contracts. Silence equates acquiescence. I'm good with that. Their rules, I'll use it, and I won't. I can change whatever rule I want because I can. So here's the thing. I plant the roses from neutral ground. Did you know you're committing a crime and harming people? Here's why. And I would like for you to stop. If you don't stop, well, you're going to get the mirror of it right back at you according to the golden rule. If that's what you wish, then that's your wish, and I'm good with that. So if you continually try to, rant and bitch, rave, and get angry and all the rest of it, I'm famous for that, then don't expect anything different. That's pure insanity.
Yeah, exactly. It's like all of these pages that are coming out everywhere, like the cop block and police the police and police state USA. All of these.
Well, they're generating it.
Yeah, exactly. And I realized that I was going on these pages and I was just filling them with Kate's writings and stuff, and I was doing exactly like I did on the ops page with that one photo post that I put out about, I was doing exactly that, just discussing with the people on the page, because the comments that you get on those pages are just disgusting. It's fuck this, fuck these people, fuck that, kill, grab your guns, militia, just a bunch of literal drama.
That's
and
right.
So I would go in there, I would have nice discussions, just prove the solid points. And a few people out of the thousands rational people would come to me and they would say, hey, man, I want to know more about what you're talking about. And those people are right here. They're on the table. They're listening to the show right now. So, I mean, it has an effect. Planting those good seeds, it has an effect. And the people that are ready for it are the ones that they've been looking for it, and so just putting it out there, they will find their own way, and they find, they go down their own yellow brick road, which leads them ultimately to here is what I've found, and so yeah, just plant the right seeds, and that's when the page actually came back, and they responded to me. They were like, because I called them out. I was like, okay, well, this is where I'm starting to think that you're a COINTELPRO operation. And they were like, well, I'm just starting to think that you're a mega troll. And I just laughed. And then they banned me after that, but not before I got a bunch of rational people that actually have a heart to actually get on to the truth after that. So I just thought it was hilarious how they banned me from all of the pages, like everyone. Same with all the science pages. I got banned from all the science pages for proving, because they were calling out pseudoscience as far as the cures for the hemp oil. Mr. Rick there, I was plugging your stuff like mad, and because their post that they claimed was all this pseudoscience, no one ever puts out any cited sources, any evidence to back it up. So I flooded them. I would like 11 billion different government sources, cited patents, and just loaded them with solid fact, and they banned me after that.
Yeah, you know how to prove when you're telling the truth? You get blacklisted real quick. Hey, you're wrecking my Lazy Boy Diet Coke Nacho American Idol hour here. Stop. But that's when you know you're doing it right. That's why when people get pissed at me, it just means, oh, who's creating the effect now, huh? Right?
It's really funny.
And it is. And when you can laugh at it, and I mean really laugh, because you're seeing your ability. Now here's the joy of what you're doing. You planted a lot of rosebuds, and look at our rose garden grow. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I mean, the people are they're like I'm extending my reach out there so far that literally people are just flocking. I mean, because it's truth, and that's what they've been craving their entire lives. They've seen all the dots their whole lives, and now we're just connecting the dots. And as soon as they see the dots connect, boom, they come. They come. You build it, and they will come.
Yeah, that's the problem with the ego, in that it's the perfect trap. It's also the perfect escape, because you can use that same program against itself. In that, once an ego, an analytical, total intellectually brilliant individual finally connects those dots, they can't even argue with themselves on it. It's awesome. They just get it and they go, shit. And then they start moving up the Jacob's ladder, and they come and hang out with the rest of us here, a bunch of crazies, just changing the world by thinking that we can. Why? Because we're the only ones that ever have. That's the joy of this. It was always the misfits, the musicians, the dancers, the artists, the outside the box freaks. All of us, every one of us, we're all freaks in our own way, are the ones changing this world. Why? Because we're the only ones that ever have, and we're the only ones that ever will.
That it is, yeah, exactly. You scroll down, and I mean, you look at your friends list, and you just know the people's soul resonance. You can just see it. You can feel it.
Okay, well, here, let me ask everyone a question. I've got Elvita in the call too. I want to ask everyone this question: in your walk towards the truth, did you at any point lose any friends or family?
Me personally, I haven't lost anyone, because they've always known that I've always been crazy like this. And
well, it's more of a general question, just simple yes or no words.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell you.
Yeah.
You didn't lose. Yeah, we all have. Right?
Yeah.
But did we? Here, let me tell you what you didn't lose a damn thing. What you gained for the first time in your life are real friends. Real family.
Exactly. I know because Mike, that's my brother's name, and Kat, that's my sister's name. So, it's just the family starting all over again right here, right now. And you were talking about the roses and what'd you say, the bush? The
roses and ragweed.
Yeah, the ragweed. So when we were younger, Kathy and Mike, and we moved to New Jersey, which was a really ragweed place where we first moved. And then about 7 months later, we moved to a house, and it was nothing but roses there in the backyard. The whole back of the yard was filled with roses.
That's allegory right there.
Absolutely. And of course, one of my points of hangout is with Ingrid, and she's got rose all over her place. And isn't it funny that nickname for Welland is Rose City? Of course we land in the Rose City. We have to, right?
Yeah.
So, did I say Welland or we land? That's what I thought. Yeah, we land.
Okay.
Right beside Niagara Falls. What are the odds? Pretty good, apparently.
Yeah,
so
I even went there around in that time too. Niagara Falls. Wow. Cut it out.
Isn't it great? So pay attention to what matters only to you. You've got to be completely selfish in this to be selfless. You've got to see everything as it only applies to you, you absolutely perfectly selfish God, in order that you become the absolutely perfect selfless one.
Exactly.
Oh, and what have we been taught all our lives? Oh, if you're thinking of yourself all the time, there's two sides of that. There's the spiritual side or the ego side. How are you looking at it? The ego, if you are self-centered and conceited and all the rest of it, and your shit doesn't stink, so to say, which I assure you, everyone, yes, it does. And the difference, that's being selfish without any selflessness. When you are so selfish to the point that you want to save humanity, that's what the real, for me, that's what the real thing is. Where I had to be so selfish about finding my path, because I knew that when I found my path, my universe outside of me gets better and better and better. So that is going through my selfish lust for this, going through my trials and tribulations, where I've been through the mill. Not as bad as most, and a whole lot worse than most. So it's all works out in the gravy anyway. No lumps in this one. But I had to travel through all of that to get to this point. And where the hell was I going there? Download. Oh God, overload. Anyway, the point is, when you get selfish to that degree, all of the selfless acts that you've experienced fall to the wayside. Would I do everything all over again the same way to get to where I am? You're damn straight.
Yep.
Because it was perfect, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's no regrets right there.
None. I have you guys. What the hell? And here's the joy of it. When the game is at that point of now, everyone and everything that was in my past are going to be all brand new versions of that anyway, and it's already peachy. And those points of consciousness that just don't want to be a part of that won't be in my timeline. Nor will they be yours. We'll have new and improved versions of we in that timeline.
Exactly. See, I don't really believe channelers, but you do a damn good job of channeling my ass. I want to tell you that.
Well,
okay?
It's because we're resonating, honey. This is what telepathic is. When we're resonating the same things, we're picking up the same thoughts because we're on the same frequency. Now we're dialing each other in. No more separation.
Yeah. Yep. Open the curtain. You're coming down. Sure. Over.
Game over is right. You broke up a little bit, but I got what you were saying. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Avita.
Yeah.
And I just to let Lynn know, I got your mic open as well.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to unmute there.
See, I already know that. You don't even have to say that. It's always a 2 or 3 second delay, so don't worry about saying that. Just go, hey, how's it going? I get it. God, don't justify or apologize.
Yes, the old Canadian program. But there is some other beautiful things talking about people falling away from us that don't serve us anymore, or they're not on the same path at this time. But I've also noticed that I have a couple of my friends that haven't let go and are listening and work for the very people that or organizations that we are dismantling. And they're still holding on to me, so I think that's beautiful. That gives me some great hope that if they're listening and they're within these organizations, that they have the ability to tear down from the inside.
Just like Santos.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's your allegory right there.
And here's the full allegory in Occam's razor style. You are lighthouses. Bring the ships home.
Yes.
Ship is mind. So bring the consciousness home. You don't have to be anything but standing on the solid rock of truth, shining your light because you are, and just simply plant the rosebuds. And those that are clinging to you, absolutely, Linda, those that are clinging to you are clinging to you for the reason that they may not be aware of it, but they know.
They know as they're listening?
They know what they're going to. They may not be aware of what it is, but it is that magnetic attraction of unconditional love that brings everyone to this table. That's what brings everyone here. That's what brings me here.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes, me too.
You know? Am I not you?
You are.
You know?
We're all a reflection of each other.
Okay, so I'm the new and improved version of Kate in your movie, just like everyone in this call is a new and improved version of me reflecting. And boy, do I ever like me a whole lot more every day.
Oh, yeah.
How can you not love you? You know?
Yes, it's beautiful, and it's exciting to see, and it's exciting to get to know myself again on a new level. I'm always going through new levels, but standing in the truth outside of the program, and planting those new bulbs or those new rose bushes, and planting them in all kinds of gardens of people that I've never even met before, that I remember anyways. And it's wonderful. And actually, I'm getting so many responses from people, although I want to adjust what I say a little better so I manifest exactly what I'm looking for in the truth with other people. But I've been getting so many comments from people around the world that I don't know about beautiful things, and it's really exciting to see.
Well, here, let me take it right down to the bare nitty-gritty with anything that regards law stuff, legal stuff, okay? At all of it. I don't care what it is. Can we all agree that any use of the legal name, because we don't own it, and it is the Whore of Babylon mark of the beast, that any use of the legal name has us not knowing who we are and committing fraud as a result? In ignorance, I would say yes, because I knew I was. And I had it proven by the British consulate years ago. Okay? It just took a while for the consciousness. So, that being known and being a factum, not a fact, not artificial, that being a factum, what we have now is answer, because if it's true to all of us and we know that it's true, we've proved it, and we've watched, court case after court case get riddled with it, judges and everything bow, okay? So would it not also make sense that we take the same question and ask it very simply of anyone that's sending legal stuff to you? Is it your intent? This is it. Just send a couple of the little notices so they have a better understanding where you're coming from. But you're going to ask them outright, ignorant or otherwise, I don't care. Ignorance is no defense. I know that because I got beat up for it. It's all good. Ignorance is no defense. Is it your intent to aid and abet me into committing fraud by using a name that isn't mine and can be one of 7.3 billion people on this planet? False impersonation. Is that your intent? You can go simpler than that. I'm just trying to explain it a bit more so you see the whole concept. So it's simple. Are you aiding and abetting me? Is it your your intent to aid and abet me into committing fraud? Put the question mark, throw the notices with it, send it back. Plant the seed back. What you've done is you've handed that steaming pile of dog shit back with a bow on it that's going to have to undo, and they're going to own that steaming pile of dog shit regardless, because, gosh darn it, anything you send is deemed contract upon sending, because did they have an email address to go to? Hell, you know what, Linda? Do me a favor if you can get that email address over to me, and I'll fire off a couple of things, alongside what's going on with Santo and whatnot. Okay?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, you can hit them with a candle or hit them with a lighthouse. Let's take the lighthouse. That's all of us.
Yeah, the lighthouse. That's right. That's right.
We do this together, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So get the seeds into the consciousness. And how many times do we need to see it prove to us that this changes the reality?
Yes, exactly.
Like, is 100?
It's just making a choice. What reality do we want to change? How do we want making the decisions on, depending on who we're dealing with and the circumstances that we encounter. What kind of seeds do we want to plant there? And making these choices.
Yep, and I go right back to my essay, the very first one of the whole series, summer of 2012, choices.
Yes. Yeah.
What
and
choice?
Doing it consciously and deliberately.
In the now, staying aware of where you are at all points. Listen to the music of the universe. I challenge everyone to do this. Go outside sometime. Maybe tomorrow or wherever you are. Say today, Australia, it's daytime. Go outside and just stand and for a moment, just get really quiet and listen. And then start tapping a beat on your chest. And just tap it and listen. And wait till you hear everything align with that beat. You will hear things. I mean, it was a beautiful example of it in August Rush when he was in the traffic and you hear the and it was music and out of a cacophony. So that's what we're doing here, is creating a symphony. Instead of dealing in the tuning of the orchestra pit like the fear porn and the rest of it, get those bastards, those guys, the fear porners. Take your symphony, finally, because we know we're all finely tuned. What we're doing now is we're able to play that symphony, so we're playing the Santo is Out Rhapsody. Right?
Yeah.
So that's where we flow our energy. And again, you don't have to get nasty or whatever. I've done that in emails because I'm a bitch, but that's okay. I don't do that so much now. I just deal up the facts. I'm okay with me. I know when I've been a whiny, teary-eyed, fucking angry, dopey bitch. I know that. How do you think I get the contrast of knowing that I'm not being that right now? You don't just get that. You got to earn that, right? Oh, man, I annoy more people than I can count.
40 years of hormones.
It could be that too, right? But see, it's when you can get real with yourself to that level, when you can finally look at yourself and go, "Oh, really?" Then you're really well on. For me, anyway, you're really well on your way. Because you're not taking things so seriously. You're not screaming back at the TV in the form of, say, a relative or a friend or whatever the case may be. There's no need to debate. I don't debate anything. My only intent is benevolence. It's in my chart. It's in Santo's chart, Leo Ascendant. That's why he needs to be there. That purity of benevolence must be there to swing that sword. And come on, look at my superstar, Santo. Go get him, Tiger.
Absolutely, and the conviction.
Oh, yeah, he was born in the year of the rabbit. Did anybody see Monty Python? That's a killer bunny. You ever see that? That's what Santo is. Okay? All right. Oh, my God.
Nice talking.
So start looking at it from the, let's create the funny side of it and generate that energy instead of flowing all that negative shit that just keeps empowering that reality. I'm done with that. I'll probably still have my moments here and there, but for me, anything after that is just drama for the sake of drama. It's not being taken literally. I mean, I'll still get into little drama things here and there just because it's fun to do. I took theater in school, right? So, I do like to enjoy that on occasion, where people actually think I'm really going off the deep end. I'm not. I'm laughing inside, going, I wonder if they're buying this. I'm being this role. I wonder if they're actually thinking this. To create the effect. Can I create the effect? If I can create the effect, I'm a cause. I am the crow that wears my own crone. I will cause and make my own cause known to the world. And I tell you, if that isn't probably the funniest allegory going, what do they have at the Tower of London? They have ravens, crows. I guess the Tower of London would be the crow's nest, wouldn't it? Now, I don't know if my Blog Talk page is refreshing if other people want in here, because for some reason I'm not able to reopen the Blog Talk page on another link. I was just trying to check something. Oh, well, we'll try again. So let's see if we get it this time. Nope, it's not letting me do it. Anyway, yeah, so what else is on your minds, guys?
What about this Pope deal and all this niceness that he's trying to project to the world? It means nothing.
Well, don't worry. That's my puppet that I'm controlling. How am I doing?
Oh, you're doing well. Just fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic. I mean, wow, have you ever heard so much bullshit from one person in your life?
That's awesome. You know, the thing is, you see, if we get polarized, Rick, on one side or the other, you see, I don't look at the Pope as being all good, and I don't look at him as being all evil. That is just another point of consciousness that is both, and I have to choose which part of it I want to pull out.
Exactly. Hey, what are we having for dinner, dear?
Right. See, so that's what I do in my consciousness. I take my intent and place it in that point of consciousness for what I want to see in my timeline, and lo and behold, the new and improved, better, more benevolent version of it shows up. And watch, it's going to keep getting more and more benevolent.
Oh,
by the day.
It will. Well, I think he's smart enough to know that he's not winning. He's not winning on that side anymore. It's time for some of his point to be changed.
Well, he's going to have to regain his own consciousness control, because I have his attention, don't I?
Oh, do we not?
Okay, so if I have your attention, you're empowering my intention. Yep. Or better yet, my in-10 love ion. In X, remember, 10 is Roman numeral X? Mm-hmm. This is the phonics game. You can do whatever you want. In life, key, the in key of love, that's what intent is, in the key of love. And what is a musical note? Well, what key are you singing in? I'm singing in T. What are you singing in? And I'm going to make every point of my consciousness from my reality, because I'm God. If I was God, and I am, that's what I do. Then I change my key, my intent, whatever point of consciousness I wish. But I do that within me. That's how I know this. I'm not correcting outside of me. I'm correcting inside of me, and I'm seeing the reflection of it outside of me.
Exactly.
The kingdom of heaven is within. Sort out your kingdom. Clean up the playpen. Enough of the shitty diapers lying around. Okay, guys? Clean them up. Just pick them up, throw them in the laundry, get rid of them, burn them. I don't care what you got to do with all the dirty laundry. Get rid of it and move on to clear your RAM, baby, because you're not going to get to Rome, the read-only memory, until you do. All roads lead to Rome.
Yep. But then again, I wasn't one much for listening to all about that history and all that other stuff. But even at a young age, I didn't believe in none of it. The teacher would say, "Oh, you need to know that, you need to know this," and my question was, "And what will happen if I don't learn it, and I don't want to learn it? Will that change my path?" Apparently not, because I'm still here.
Well, again, I look at anything as good or bad in school, because it allowed me. I've told everyone, why is it great to have your kids registered? Well, how the hell else are they going to have a game, and how are we going to have a game if they're not? We got nothing to bitch about in a polarized position.
No, we don't.
It makes sense. We wouldn't even bother playing the game if that were the case. We'd know the score. Let's play a game. We don't know the score, but we do, right? We just have the illusion that we don't.
Yeah.
That's what it means to know. When you know that the game is already done and it is perfect because it already exists, I don't believe that anymore. I know that.
Yeah.
So that's the Aquarian part in me, everybody waking up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had a run-in with a couple of people who like paper signed, and they were telling me, you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to sign there. And I slid it back to them and said, here, let's see what you could do with it without my participation. See ya.
Yeah, thanks for your offer of contract, but no thank you, I don't accept.
Well, they said, well, Mr. Rattel, you need to. And I said, I do. I know what I need to do, and that's buy. And left. You know what? Seems to work good.
Oh, and by the way, if anyone ever, for all the guys out there, and this also applies to all the women, because Mother Star is master, by the way. Man, by the way, is feminine. It's M, the divine feminine, as above, mind. Just so everybody know, the whole illusion of the masculine is beautiful. Talk about a game within a game. Let's pit herself against everything else, and don't divide it up sexually. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got nothing to do with penises and vaginas. Okay, it's got everything to do with energy, magnetic and electric. That's all it is.
Yes,
makes it so much simpler.
Yes.
You know, you don't get all the hang-ups. You know, you don't get all the dramas of people, you know, thinking that they're girly men. Well, of course you are. You're magnetic. Everyone was born female. So you had a glitch in the program. It's all good. We have to have that to have the game. If we have the contrast, we don't have the game. And it's perfect. I think guys and girls get along pretty good, don't you?
I do. Sign me up.
Right. So now that's this time, and I like to say this to everyone that thinks that they're one sex or the other, which is fallacy, no pun intended. Well, what experience, like the last time, are you quite and so positively sure that you weren't the opposite? Oh, that's right. You don't remember, because I'll tell you, if you had to, that would be a hell of a nightmare game to come into. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So.
Yes, I do.
So we lose the separation.
At a younger age, in my 20s, which seems like forever ago, I once got hit with about 120,000 volts of hydro. And all these my heart was racing and all these things, and the doctors kept telling me, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to take this pill, you need to take that pill, you need to, all kinds of needs, and I did none of them. You know what I mean? So I came to the point where, you know what, it's all self-belief. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, and I learned it at a young age, that, whoa, I didn't agree to anything they had to say, and I only agreed with what I was feeling and what I knew at the time, and I seemed to make it just fine.
That's mastery right there. That's mastery, my friend.
You know what I mean? And hydro went through me, and headlights of my truck blew about 15 feet from the scene, and I walked from it. Oh, I passed out, of course, and I had a racing heart. Well, I know there's a heart there now. I mean,
don't you just?
Right? I felt every single vein in my body when I got hit. And it was briefly. And I was delusional for a while. But I didn't have no faith in the doctor. It's just something that came out of his mouth that I couldn't believe. And I said, no way. I'm stronger than that. I don't need this. I don't need that. And walked away from it. And I'm still walking, by the way.
No doubt.
So, in your mind is a very powerful thing to be aware of. When it's in your mind, it's you.
You're not going to get an argument here. You know we don't debate stuff, right? You just, okay.
Absolutely not. But it was a nice thing to add to the file anyway.
Oh, for sure. It's all good. Everything's perfect.
That's why I'm saying that's why I'm at the table. I was looking for perfection, and I found it now. So now I need to join, right?
Yeah, mirror.
Yeah.
Go ahead, mate.
Yeah, I just want to read this one thing that I ended up writing earlier today. These words, in parentheses, worlds, are not coming from anywhere outside of yourself. What you are reading, re-adding, is coming from within the deepest portions, port ions, of yourself that remembers you, who you really are. I am all that is, seen and unseen, heard and unheard, spoke in, spelled I-N, and unspoke in, experienced and inexperienced, known and known, unknown. I am the space in which you occupy. I am that which surrounds you. I am all that you are observing, before your very eyes, but that is not where I come from. I am speaking from within you. I am you, and I am remembering you. Beyond me, there is only we, mirrored upside down.
Exactly. You know, and I'm going to get into the habit of the 2-hour shows, just because I need to, and don't want to belabor points too long, and just because I want to. You know, 2 hours is enough. I've done my 7 nights a week, 3 hours for like what 9-10 months now. You know, so it's. I
don't know how you and Santos can literally, like, for me, I'm not a person that can sit here and talk, because if I do, I get caught in the ego, and I just sit and talk just for the, you know, just to fill space, and it's not, you know, for me, it's not genuine. It's not like my deepest resonance. So that's why I like to write, is because when I'm writing, it just comes out, it just flows through you, and it's true. You know, it's not. Well, it's, you know, it's not. You don't get caught in the left side, you know, in the left hemisphere of the brain, like just going on. So I don't know how you and Santos can literally have a show and like just literally just talk, like, especially with substance. And this is how I can't, you know, fathom how Terrence McKenna could do it. I mean, download, literally just streaming for the length of time that he would do it. Just incredible.
You just stop thinking.
Yeah. Me personally, I just leave my ego out of it. My choice.
Yeah, for me, I just
I don't even bring it.
You know, I've had countless nights where, you know, I'll come to the table and go, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, and the next thing you know, something triggers a download, and then they just go, and the next thing you know, we're running out of time after 3 hours, and it's still lit up on fire. You know, so in one side of it, yeah, it can feel like a burden, but yeah, I guess you do it long enough, you just kind of go, well, this is what I do, so I'm going to do that. But really, it's just about stopping thoughts, having a couple of, I probably get 1 or 2 or more epiphanies every day, so it's not very difficult for me to talk about the newest things and then allow those epiphanies to expand while we're at the table. That's what happens. Is I'm not thinking, I literally have to go back sometimes to a show to listen back to what it was I said, and I went, holy shit, that was profound. But
exactly.
I didn't realize I said it.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and that's what's really cool is like it's like when I write one of these things, you know, and I put it out and I go back and look at it, I'm like wow, when did I write that? You know, it's like you don't have any recollection of actually doing it. You just go back and look at it, and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? And then it's funny because I will literally hear it reflected back to me from you, and you'll talk about it. You're like, oh, well, I don't know where this came from. It was just, you know, it just came to me, and I'm like, I know where it came from.
There you go, right? So this is tapping into the consciousness, the collective consciousness versus the mass consciousness. So if you want to be part of the mass consciousness, well, see you at Walmart, and you won't recognize me because I won't be there. But I'll see you in the clouds. You know. So again, it's just, and this was even more proof to me with regards to truth that belongs to all, because when I have to go back to listen back to what I said, that's when I know it. There's no way a programmed personality can think of this shit. It's just impossible. You can rationalize after you hear it, but you're not going to get that kind of information from the left brain program. You can't, because it's filled with ragweed, you know? So, well, ours not so much now. We've cleared a lot of that shit away. And I'm just going through my garden very carefully, looking for all the little bits of garbage that I don't want, the clutter that's blown on there from some conversation or something. I'll go and I'll pick it all up and tidy it up, and then plant some more roses and go to bed, wake up, and start again.
Yeah. What's interesting about that right brain thinking is people can see it clearly for what's going on. They can look at the news and stuff and see it clearly, but then they're stuck wondering, why is it like this? And then you're trying to give them the answer, but they're stuck in the left brain, so they don't hear it.
Yeah.
They're stuck in that. It's wrong. I know it's wrong. Why is it like this? And this is why. It's coming clear. Yeah. It's not that people can't see it. They sure do.
Yeah.
Again, it's steady at the helm,
tune it in.
steady as she goes.
Yes, you need to tune it in.
First three numbers of your line there, Rick, it's not 508, right?
No, it's 905.
Oh, no, I know. I'm talking 905-508.
That's me. That's
there we go.
920.
Yeah,
Michael
I'm
from
having
Richmond.
Michael, sorry, I'm having a few issues with my web page here, so I was just able to get your mic unmuted. So, hello, Michael. Welcome from Richmond Hill.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I want to ask you about something I read. I found that God is darkness, not light.
Thank
if
you.
It was already light, why would he say, "Let there be me"?
Or she, for that matter. More accurately.
There had to be dark before light existed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it. That's the magnetic, where the product of sun electricity, masculine intent, came forth.
Yeah, the magnetic I would consider the dark. Oh.
Yeah, that's the is.
I also want to share a success story with the Crown beating them up.
Okay.
Okay, it's how I deal with all their bullshit paper that they send me now. I just write back, "Your CEO, I'm returning your documents as it was created by way of fraud. I never present any ID. A fraud uncover renders all contracts non-pro-tongue."
Null and void.
Right. I have the inherent right and freedom to move along the Queen's highways, and I'm only required to keep the Queen's peace.
Sorry, whose highways and whose peace? Sorry, I'll keep my own highways, my own fucking peace. Thank you very much.
And then I just say, I don't have to play trustee or administrator or beneficiary or any trust law bullshit to your Crown Vatican-owned legal fiction name. Any such further correspondence will be returned unopened, marked deceased. I require of you to end the fraud and clear the record. Is ubi jus ibi remedium. Where there is a right, there must be a remedy. And I never hear from them ever again.
No, actually, I'll tell you, the one word that you put on there is the one that kills it. I've said this in the past. Just write deceased on it, throw it back in the mailbox.
Yeah, that's what I told him, if he sent me any more stuff. But here's the whole point, is that if you do have a right, there must be a way to exercise that right. There must be a remedy. And if you demand it, they don't provide it, they have to leave you alone.
Well, I'll tell you, it's even simpler than that. I get up in the morning and decide to go tinkle all by myself. I don't have any rights. I am the rights.
That's it.
The ritual. Yeah.
That's right. It starts the moment you put your foot down and hold your ground.
Stand in truth.
Yeah, so many people are lacking in that courage.
It's fear.
They're threatened, right? And they believe the fraud, and they're afraid of the force.
And that's why it gets really.
That success, a letter with that intent, as I learned from you, is very effective.
Yeah, well, you know who you are. You stand in truth, and nothing touches you. I keep telling people that. And I'll tell you, when you get to this point, and I'm sure you're all feeling this now, what the hell were we afraid of? Nothing. It was our imagination. Oh, right on.
So, yeah. What I was going to say now. I have no fear whatsoever. I sort of laugh at them now. They're funny. They're like Keystone Cops to me.
Yep.
It's
that's all the clowns getting out of the little car in the center of Barnum and Bailey's Ringling Brothers Circus. Okay, that's how I see them. And that's why I say, listen, if you're going to walk around just because you're putting a clown suit on doesn't give you the right to murder somebody. Just because something you're wearing says makes you think that you're something you're not, well, that's a false impersonation because you're just strictly acting in that role. Yet your living capacity and your ability to rationalize and reason is still fully responsible for every choice and decision you ever made.
I would never say that to them. It would go right over their head.
Oh no! That's why I can only say it here, because I'm actually talking with people that get it. Oh yeah, you can try to rationalize.
What does it say in the Bible that Jesus said? You want to go out and be a witness to the world, right?
Yep.
So that's all we're doing is we're just going out and being witnesses.
Witnesses for our brothers and sisters.
That's it. And to all the people who are out there listening, it works when you really hold your ground.
That's all you got to do. You know. Yeah, Michael, you've got it nailed. That's it. Just stand your ground. Do not yield. None shall pass. That's what I do. I stand post. I shall not yield. None shall pass. Really simple. Now, we've got about 7 minutes till we roll out of here, guys. So I want to do the quick shout-out, and then we'll get your last comments for the evening, and then we'll continue on tomorrow. Don't forget, No Borders Radio from, what time is it? 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, and back to the table from 7 to 9, okay? So No Borders Radio, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm with Ben or with Nala or with Gary or whoever, but I'll be with someone on No Borders Radio tomorrow, as I am every week now. I'll re-announce the Friday show as well, which will be ahead of our normal table. I'll be going from 5 until 7, then join the table 7 until 9. And looking forward to having Santo sit at the table. Yeah. That works for me. You know,
works for me too.
I'm not going to work this myself all the time. Are you kidding me? I'm a lazy bitch, so I've got intent on this one. Trust me. Okay. But a great big thank you to Paul Giovanni at Critical Mass Radio and the rest of the crew, Rob Freeman, Ninja, everybody. Thank you guys so much. With criticalmassradio.co.uk, well, we wouldn't have this table, and thanks to everyone that chips in, does their part, either subscribe, donate, or intend. It all matters. Okay? So a great big thank you for that. And yeah, so we got, like I said, about a little over 5 minutes left here. So let's get your thoughts before we roll out of here. I'd love to hear them.
Hey, Kate.
Hey.
Hey, it's Darren from Vancouver. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I just wanted to say hi to everyone. And when I heard Made Manifest make his or read his little writing, the one thing that popped in my mind was, and it's just a quick little sentence, and it was, I am, and my way is Darren. And it was just, that's all I wanted to say.
Nice. Yeah, your experience is Darren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
We can name the experience, we just can't name the God, you see, because you're all... I can be anyone on this planet I want to be. That's why I like Jorge Bergoglio. I like that name, so I'm going to use that one as mine for a while and steer that consciousness around a little bit and start releasing all the information. And won't it be amazing when I, as Jorge Bergoglio, get up and say, listen, the whole religion thing, it was all a scam. We're sorry, guys. This whole thing was, we're sorry, and game over.
Beautiful.
That works for me.
Works for me.
So well said, Darren. Yes. Nice game you're playing there, by the way. You look great from here.
And you too.
There you go. See, that's my point of view. I love it.
Awesome.
Quick, grab a mirror and see how good I look.
Beautiful.
Isn't it awesome?
Beautiful. I can't wait to meet you when you come out west, by the way.
I'll be out there. You don't worry. I'll get there, and I'll be out there with bells and whistles on, and probably a few other gadgets and gadgets. I do like to accessorize.
Awesome. And if I'm sure you have a place, but if you don't, I have a place you can crash. So
I guarantee you, I think for the rest of my life, if I went out to BC, I'd never have to worry about that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, spend a day here, a day there, and I'm good for the rest of my life at this point, so it's all good. But guys, you guys... seriously, after the show tonight, go to the mirror, look at yourselves, look at the fa se, the bass notes, the root note, the heart note of creation itself. Look yourself in the face, fa se, and know that you are God.
Yeah,
That's
you'll literally start to notice that you actually look physically a lot better too. Like you're like, holy shit, I am gorgeous.
Why do you think I'm such
I've been saying that all along.
Hey, listen, I'm getting 50 this year, and I take a great deal of pride in knowing that through my own abilities that I can maintain whatever I want. And yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. That's exactly it. mind over matter, and the closer to God you get, the more beautiful it shows in your face. Watch.
It really does. Yeah, it really does. Hey, just so y'all know, like, if you can either call me my personal name if you want to, which is Cullen, C-U-L-L-E-N.
Cullen, yeah, I do that. I figured I'd go with Made Manifest because that's what you use online a lot. So I want people to know who you are.
Yeah, for sure. So, sure.
I'll mix and match between Cullen and Made Manifest. Fair? I'm just trying to promote your sorry ass. Get over it.
hey, it's no ego here.
I know, I love it. Why do you think I promote? I don't promote ego. I only promote those who are pushing the truth out, and you're one of them, so knock yourself out. Again, Giuseppe as well from Lightworker Media, and Zach for all the work that they do to get the word out, and everybody, every one of you, any one of the documents you send out from the website, those are yours. All you got to do is get the concept, and they're yours. I didn't write them for me. I wrote them for the planet kind of thing, you know? And everyone that's using those to get them out, that's what you're doing is sharing the table intent. This is ours.
It is.
Really, really simple, okay? So have that perspective as God, and watch your world shift. I know. Wait do you see tomorrow night? Wait do you see how amazingly different it is tomorrow night, just based on our conversation tonight. Watch the world, but watch it with your eyes as it only matters to you, for only the things that resonate for you on your life path. For me, it's easy. It's anything to do with legal. I just look at it and go, my intent, good, I can have that. Good foreshadowing. Crown bar shut down. Santo is out. Etc., etc., etc. So we just hold those notes, and we'll sing the highest ones.
Beautiful. Okay, you have a beautiful evening. We love you.
Much love to you.
We'll be joining you tomorrow.
Okay, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys again as every night. Okay?
Absolutely. And just remember, if you're not flying and driving, I'll make sure you get there.
All right. Oh, hey, we've got one more caller who just jumped in. What is it with you guys at the last minute, literally? Jumping in on the
There we go.
I know.
No,
right?
I've been on all night. I've been on all night listening to you.
You finally put your hand up.
Oh, yeah. I'm the one who wanted to kiss your ass in Macy's window for all the good work you've done.
I'll make sure I have time for that. I love you. That was beautiful. See, that's the kind of shit we end on. Okay? Oh, man, you guys rock. Well, listen, we'll catch you guys tomorrow night, and I'll see you in Macy's window. I'm looking forward to that one. That looks like a good scene.
We'll have a parade.
Macy's parade our own. All right, you guys. Much love.
All
and
right. Good night.
We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Much love.
Thank you.
Love you, Santo. And he heard you. Right on. Carry on.
Much love all.
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
What do you call it? Bringing things into the now. So I've got Mike and I've got Made Manifest. Get your mics open, and I got to get Cindy here as well. She gives me the thumbs up. How are you guys doing?
Kick ass.
Yeah, aloha all. Wonderful.
Yeah. So there you go. I told you. You know, so again, this is about choosing our reality, and I don't choose a reality as far as fear porn is concerned. What I do is I take the things that I see in my reality and manifest them as it applies to me. Do you want one of the headlines that got posted on my Facebook? You guys are going to howl. Now, if you were trapped in the financial world and that's all you had as your reality, you wouldn't get this one. And it comes out of zeroheads.com. All right. Thank you, Bob, son of Peter. Love it. This is so... I laughed. Anyway, here's the headline. Turbocharged trannies tumbling treasuries. You can't make this shit up. It's too funny.
You did make it up, though. It's your story.
Yeah, see, that's the joke. It's getting to be a cosmic fun time, though, right? That's the difference. But now, for someone in the hedge funds, that's a wholly different thing. And what are they going to create? What am I going to create as opposed to that? Well, I'm going to say, yeah, that's a turbocharged tranny taking down a treasury system, and I'm good with that. So Mindful, guys, of the noise background, please. It's really loud on my end. I got to turn my headset down. I think I turned my mic up, or my headset up. It's killing me here.
I guess it bears repeating something I was reading this morning or glossing over this one website I like to go to. And it kind of is like a conglomerate of different posts. And, oh, man, I don't want to say names. But whether it's the RV, the DNR, the Global Reset, Lord Jesus, the Pleiadians, why would they even have banking on their mind? But these channels bring this up. I'm like, are you misinterpreting this, or are those guys just as whacked as you guys seem to be when we're talking about a free world and you're still talking about money?
Yeah, a lot of those channels, I mean, you can tell that it's literally just someone looking to stroke their ego. I mean, I know how everyone, especially you, Kate and Santo, feel of it. Zerababble from the Pleiadians, I mean, if there is like one channel, I would say Daryl Anka is legit, because I mean, he can talk about like hardcore physics and hardcore science that, you know, most institutions aren't even up to speed with, especially as far as, you know, Kate has literally been describing to a T the things that he will talk about as well. So, I mean, he's pretty legit if you're going to go that way. I mean, all others, you know, can just fall by the wayside.
Yeah, you're going to see more and more of the consciousness aligning, because that's on this Friday at astrotheology.com website, the players there. And I will be interviewing Bill Donahue. So long awaited, and Santo will be there as well. That's what I'm holding on to, and that's good for me, because my intention was always to have the three of us sitting around the table. So I'm holding that energy, and let's get that one manifest, shall we? It's already there. There is a timeline with that reality in it, so let's just choose that one. Not worry about the rest of the semantics. Definitely send your information into all of these, the ones that decided to be so awake and still play the game sillily, my own word, in terms of, you know, the Lord Mayor, Robert Doyle, and Emilio, and all the rest of it. Without the name calling, we don't need it. We really don't need it. So that being, guys, where are we? Okay, you can't call the room. Okay. Sorry, whoever's calling the room, yeah, thanks. That works, because it calls everybody in the room, and I'm on the air right now. So let me just grab. Okay, just say when, Cindy, and I'll open your mic up. All right, and where else was I going there? I'm also going to be on. Let me just get back to the text. It's been a crazy, crazy day. It always is. Now, let me see. Got this from, Brendan of, where is it? Let me just get this. That's the problem when I have so many texts. Okay, someone's still calling the room. Stop calling the room. You can't do that. Okay, didn't hear me the first time. Hear me this time. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, because I got to tell you guys, whoever's doing the calling of that group, you're loading my Skype up. You want to end the show or what? Okay, here we go. Paradigm Shift Radio with Brendan. That's going to be on Sunday at 9 p.m., so I guess I still don't get a night off. But that's okay. It's all good. Where are we here? All right. Thank you. Please don't call the group, especially one that I'm in. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's get on track here. I'm just scrolling down, trying to get things set up here. So anyway, Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard on astrotheology.com. I'll be sitting with Bill Donahue and Santo. And on Sunday, myself on Paradigm Shift and Santo. Right, because we do this together, right? So I'm just holding that position. Let's manifest that. Let's get this thing wide open tonight. I kind of want to gear things up to mean to be. It's just, it's part of the role, the movie. And they perfectly mean to be at the same time. What's happening there is the consciousness is getting rid of all of those things that distract us to keep us caught in the matrix. And that can be what we have always deemed to be the good guys or the bad guys. It doesn't matter. Who are the deceivers? Well, the deceivers are the ones that are not honing in on their true spiritual nature. They're not kidding anybody but themselves. And that's why I look at those things to see what is it in me that I still need to clean up to change that reality again. I had a good chat with Steve Travesty today, by the way, and I told Steve I wanted to make him very aware that he changed the world when he had the prosecutor say yes to him. What that was, and anyone he said it to, they go, "What? You're kidding." The line is very simply this. I am the witness for the fraud being perpetrated against me, and I have the prima facie evidence, birth certificate, in my hand. On and for the record, is it now your intent to aid and abet me or entice me into slavery? And the prosecutor answered Steve very simply, yes. The judge confirmed it when Steve tried to raise an objection. The judge said, motion denied. Oh, if you took that literally, you're thinking, well, that means that the judge isn't listening. No, actually, the judge said exactly what needed to be said. His motion, his inability to cast spells, was denied because his spell carried through. It was a mote ion, not a motion. So the judge denied him discrediting his own objection. It was perfect. And great chat with him today. And that was a pivotal point because shortly after that, within a day or two, a few things came down, and one of them being regarding Santo. So what these things are to me are proof positives of the entire game shifting in the legal sense, where now every one of them, had I been there, had it been me, and I said to Steve, he didn't make a mistake, but here's to illustrate what I'm talking about. If I'd have been there, I'd say, fine, you just admitted to wanting to entice me into slavery, and according to your rules under Section 18, that's a 35-year sentence. Sheriff, arrest this man. He's already admitted his guilt. That's where we're at, because when you get anyone in the system represents the entire system at all points. So when you get an answer like that says, yes, I'm trying to entice you into slavery, after that statement, that tells me that we've got that nailed shut and that the system has nowhere to go now but actually admit what they're doing. But in admitting what they're doing, that raises our stakes up in making us not only more powerful but more vulnerable, and why we need to move forward to the private prosecution. And it's as simple as starting to just call up your local courthouses and asking about it.
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, at the helm, having a bit of fun here, creating the new reality by not buying into and reselling the old. Fear porn, that stuff. That which you think you create, that which you create, you experience. That which you experience is your fault. So let's change the way we think, shall we? Let's start manifesting beautiful things. I got this awesome headline. Now, visualize this thought and knock this domino over and see where it goes. The new headline is this: Santo is out. Get it? So while you have people focusing on things of a less than positive nature, what are you creating? Me, my timeline, I have Santo there. It's all good. He's already out in my world. And that's where I'm going to hold that position. And I will not allow anyone to get into any hate mongering because that's just feeding the wrong energy to all the wrong things and creating the same paradigm as I watch this paradigm shift happen instant by instant. And that is the power of thought. So, grab your kangaroos, your roses, and start throwing those out instead. anybody can do anything as far as planting negative seeds and buying into the same old. I just chose not to do that anymore because how's that been working for us? Well, it's been a fun game. We've had lots of fun, wild, wacky experiences, and that's all they are. They're just experiences of consciousness. Time to change your mind, change your universe effectively. Anyway, that's just kind of my thoughts on it. Just a couple of quick announcements here while I'm at it. I'm going to, yeah, there she is. Just give me a sec, Cindy, and get you in here. Just want to do an announcement, and I'll share what my intentions are. I'd mentioned last night that I've been asked to sit in actually a couple of interviews now with the full intention of having Santo there. So the one that's coming up, let me just get the information for it, is this Friday, the 24th. And it's going to be on astrotheologyradio.com at, let me just check the time here, I believe it was 5 p.m. Eastern. Let me just double check this. Let me see. Because I did ask. Where are we? Okay, it's this Friday at, it's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, so I'm in the Eastern Standard, so the Pacific will be, of course, 3 hours earlier, and, adjust yourself from there. But we are constantly moving into brand new versions of ourselves in that new timeline. It's a new old, right, because it already exists, but we have the reality of moving into it because it seems different. And when you start really seeing this, you start seeing more awakened people around you. Surprise, surprise. No, that's because the change that came from within is now externalizing without. That's why you need to know that you're God, and this is how this works. And I don't want to ruin the game for anybody, so I'm very careful with my own choices, where I don't want to make a wish and, everything's perfect, though. This is a joke of it, and I still find myself in this quandary all the time of, wait, I can't make a mistake. What the hell am I worried about? And there's no guilt involved with it. You just get to the point where, or whatever, you just get to the point where you see things as they are, you accept all things as being perfect, and I just keep my intent on that perfect timeline for that grand finale of, whoa, superstardom for everybody. It's friggin' awesome.
Yeah. I'm so happy for that, Kate. That you're part of my consciousness that reminds me of that.
Yeah, and you guys too. It works both ways, This is where we get to see the reflection of our of ourselves in ourself, right? This is and man, or God created man in our image after our likeness, and that's what we are. We are the hour. This is the hour, right? Talk about the 1 hour of Babylon when that concept finally kicks in. Here's a good example of what I talk about with intent. I was on the wellaware1.com site, which I don't go to very often. It was posted as a link. I just thought it was a rather interesting headline in that in the headline it said Alex Jones was arrested, Dave Wilcox was arrested, Kerry Cassidy was arrested, Sheldon Neidl was arrested, and of course I didn't go any further than that. But what I see in the allegory...
Did we throw him in the funny jail?
I think so, because to me is the allegory of that. Again, you got to take the personalities out of it. You just got to see the energies. So the allegory of that, to me, is, oh, look, Revelations, the deceivers are being exposed and pulled down, so they're not continually keeping people on the fear porn path, where they're not being the distractors, because that's what a deceiver is, someone who distracts.
And that's
I'm sorry, I kind of missed that a little bit. What was that again, Kate?
The headline here, it's probably too far down on my Facebook now, but one of the first things I saw early today was this headline from wellaware1.com. That was the link, and it said that Alex Jones had been arrested, David Wilcox had been arrested, Kerry Cassidy, Sheldon Neidl. They were all arrested, right? But whether it's real or not, this is why I need people to get this. Whether it's real or not, it is very real in your own consciousness as to what it means to you. So it means to me this, that real or otherwise, in my reality, that's just the deceivers And they don't